my name is Katarina. Let's plantize our world. Here is another story on how my lifestyle choices impact my well-being. Today is how my beautiful furry children impact my life and my well-being. So I'm going to take you through a day of living with 4 furry children. We just had Mother's Day this past Sunday, and I recorded a whole day from getting up to getting to bed, and what we do together and how life looks like. I'm sure lots of you out there are sharing your life with beautiful furry children. They're just such a blessing in our life. I have never been without furry children, with animals in my life, so I don't even know how that is. Sometimes I had very many, like up to 6, like 3 horses and 3 dogs. And at the moment I have 2 dogs and 1 horse and another horse that I look after, but that is not mine. So come along with me and have a look what we guys are up to. And our days look very similar. There's a certain routine, there's walking twice a day, there's feeding involved. But of course the places change and weekends are different. So I hope you enjoy to just see what we're up to. Also, I must admit, the furry children in my life, they have a very big place. I love them so much. I do anything for them. And they have been there for me, throughout my life. Animals have always been there for me. And through moving into a whole food plant-based lifestyle, I have even come more closely to animals and what they really are, and sort of have been able to let go of the indoctrination of society, of how we look at animals and how we think that they have less of a right to live because we kill them on a daily basis, obviously, and eat them. My appreciation and my view on the world has changed amazingly because I grew up as a farmer where killing animals was, a regular thing. You grew up with them, you got to love them, and then you send them to their deaths. And that has been, through my life, challenging, but I didn't want to be different to the others, and so you push your feelings and emotions down and you harden up. But that has really changed in my older days as I've been moving past my 60s and into the world of veganism and caring about animals in a real sense, so that I believe they have a right to have their life, because I can live very well without eating them. And so, come along and see how lovely these little furry sweethearts are. So this is where Moss and Hooker sleep. Moss, he is a dog who easily overheats, so he has this open bed, so he doesn't have to curl up, so that keeps him cooler. And then he often in the night even goes on to I put this towel down there so that the carpet sort of stays cleaner, because he often lays there overnight and he fluctuates between those two. And Hooker, he always chooses to sleep in his basket rolled up. Then we get up, I let both of them out to make a pee, and Hooker always comes back, and he often likes to snuggle up with me a little bit as I sit in bed and drink my cup of tea. And then we all get up
And Moss stays outside and lays on the bark and cools off. So this is our very beginning of the day. This opportunity of hanging out with one of my dogs in the morning in bed like this gives me the chance to check them I give them like a little massage, for example, under the shoulder blades here. I massage a little bit and find if there are any lumps, hard muscle knots or something. When you find something that is a bit tense, the skin starts to tickle a little bit. You can feel it. So that gives me an opportunity to just feel and see if anything needs a little bit of help. And at the same time, it's very calming for me to connect with another being. Dogs are definitely a part of my lifestyle in the sense of they help me reduce stress, and also they encourage my exercise, of course.
Here we are, we're ready for breakfast for the dogs. So I home cook my food for the dogs, and what they get is 2 cups of cooked grains. At the moment there is buckwheat and oats in this bowl. And then I add a 1/4 cup of fruits. This morning it's berries, thawed berries. And then to this I add 1 tablespoon of a mix of linseeds, just some omega-3s, linseeds, chia seeds and hemp seeds ground up. And then I'll also add 1 teaspoon of an oil, either olive oil or peanut butter. And Moss, you're ready for breakfast? Come in. Watch out! Don't. You're very excited. Yes, he heard me talk about breakfast, so he came in. So yep, we add 1 teaspoon of, I think this morning it's going to be peanut butter. So that's a fat. And I think that's it. Sometimes I add a bit of chopped parsley or mint or something green. So that's a breakfast. And Moss says, hurry up, stop talking. So here we go. Yes, now talking about grains for breakfast, you can cook rice as well, or millet, or amaranth is a nice grain to cook. Let me think, what else do I usually cook? Yeah, these are the main. Steel cut oats, buckwheat, amaranth, millet, rice. And you can add some lentils. Orange lentils are very lovely too. They up the protein a bit. Oh, and not to forget quinoa is a lovely one. All of the grains, cook them really, really well. The fruits obviously have our antioxidants. Blueberries is really cool, and the fats too. In the evening I will show you, because you will need to give them a calcium supplement. So I will talk more about this in the evening.
Feeding animals in progression. Feeding doggies in progression. Loving it. Happy doggies. And off we go to the horses, and for doing our early morning walk. Come on, doggies. So, here we go. So Hooker, he's really good at jumping in by himself, but Mr. Moss here, he has very weak back end. He needs a little bit of help. There he comes. He's getting up and settling in. So I just use this big sheet over my back seats so they can sit, and I can wash it once a week, and we're off. Here we are at the paddock where my 2 other lovely furry children are living. Well, I just climb through the fence here. It's actually only one of them is mine, and that's little Shady at the back there. And Octavia, she belongs to the lady who owns the land here and of whom I rent the paddocks or lease them or whatever you want to call it. And Octavia is a very tall, big Lipizzaner cross horse, and she's lovely. She's the boss, and she's very tall. Look, if I stand beside her. Oh, she's walking away. She says, I'm off. Octavia, wait. No. And then we have little Shady here. She's just little. See, we are about the same height. She lifts the head. Likes to look at the camera. Yeah, good girl. So let me see if I can show the difference between the two. It's hard to see actually on the video, but anyway, that is Octavia. This is Shady, and they live together here in this beautiful land, and they get breakfast now. Well, actually what will happen is Shady, because she likes to come towards me, because she has just a little bit of an inflammation in her hoofs because she's eaten all this. There's so much clover. I have hardly any grass growing in my paddocks, and so when horses eat a lot of high sugary foods, then they get inflammation in their hoofs, and you can see she's a little bit tender on her feet. And you see how she sort of stumbles. It's because she stands on rocks and gets sore. And so she is now being fed some herbal medicines. And also she unfortunately can't go out with Octavia into the big paddock. She just gets some hay fed and is on gravel like this all day until she's better. Hi, Shady. What do you reckon? She likes smelling my hair. So yes, so I'm just going to prepare breakfast for Shady. So she gets 4 scoops of these rehydrated soaked sugar beets. Then she gets, what is this? 5 ml of Equiflam, so that's to bring the inflammation down, and 10 mils of liver support to get the toxins out of her liver and help her a little bit. So we'll mix that in here, and then she can have that. Little breakfast with herbal tinctures, and I will grab the hay nets here, climbing over the fence again. And so see, just coming back to lifestyle, this is all sort of exercise, climbing over the fences, trying to undo a clip with one hand while videoing. Obviously I don't have to do this every morning. So these are the hay nets, and I'm going to fill them up with hay for Shady. The reason being, putting the hay into nets is because it can get very windy, so the hay can blow away. Oh, look at the lovely formation of the... Oh, you can't see it on the camera. They were just geese flying by. How odd. The reason, the wind will blow away the hay, and also it will slow down the eating of the hay, because if I don't put it into the net, Shady will just eat it very fast, and that's not a natural thing for horses to do. They, when they graze, like she's doing now, they just get a little bit, and they have to walk, and they can't just stand still and eat in one place like takeaways. So that's simulating nature, so they have to, make a bit of an effort. So she's just come in here and standing on the hay net now. And is cleaning up that little area here, which is okay. She can have a little bit of green, but I sure hope her sore feet are getting better soon. So I'm just going to fill up those hay nets and I'll show it to you later on. Go backing up, Shady. Oh, she likes going in there and stealing hay. Okay, good girl. And that's how it looks when Shady is eating out of a hay net. Good girl. And Octavia just has a little bit of hay over there. And then she's the lucky one because she doesn't get sore feet. She can roam around here in this big, large paddock and enjoy her day. So that's our morning routine. Now back to the doggies and going for a little walk with them. Today it is a little bit different because it's my day of working for Plantizer World, my own little business, and so we're walking at a different place because usually when I drive to work, when I work for the Research Institute, we go along a beautiful wetland for a walk. But this morning we're out here at home at the beach, and so we're going for a different walk, so I'll take you along. It's just starting to drizzle a little bit, and Hooker, he is a rescue dog. That's his name, Hooker. He's a rescue dog from a farm 11 years ago, and he was a sheepdog. He was what's called in New Zealand a heading or an eye dog, so he was the one who would round up sheep, and because there are few sheep throughout this paddock here, he was just going into his mode of moss. Oh, that's a sheep, that's not moss. They all look the same, they're all white and beige, and Hooker is very much onto it. He thinks he has a job here. It's so deeply ingrained in them, their working ethic, that even though he hasn't done it for more than 10 years, he thinks he still has a job to herd sheep. Moss, not so much. All he wants to do is eat them. What is it? Is there something in there? He obviously smells something dead or something he's very interested in. So yeah, we're just heading out. It's just nice and flat because with Moss, as you can see, he doesn't walk that well anymore with his buggered hind hip, and but he can still walk. And where is he gone? Has all these bushes with interesting things in it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a dead sheep somewhere or a dead rabbit or something. You can smell something, eh, Mosley? And yep, so we're just heading out a little bit. He can't go for very long walks anymore. And it is also interesting to watch when we go somewhere new where he hasn't been. He is much more motivated and moves much more with interest, as if we go, on the same places where they sort of know the smells. It's a little bit different, and they are not quite as motivated. Also, they love meeting other dogs, which we never meet out here because there's only sheep and little bushes. So this direction here that we're looking is called the Kaitoreite spit, and it's a spit between, see, over this way is a lake behind these trees there, and on this side behind these bushes is the ocean. So it's just a gravel spit between the lake and the ocean. Yeah, so we just go up there a little bit, and it's starting to rain quite a bit more now, and then we're heading back. And that's our morning walk. Great for me, great for the dogs, obviously, and we do it every morning. And then in the evening after work, usually I do another walk. So great for our healthy lifestyle. And in the afternoon we usually go for a longer walk. Here we are in the beautiful Holswell Quarry, which has a lot of trees that are now turning their autumn colors. And that is a Japanese garden, I believe, here. Just gorgeous. So we're heading off. Japanese or Chinese? With the sister cities. There we go. We're heading up this way. This is usually our walk where the dogs can socialize with their own kind, with other dogs. So let's see if there's someone up here. Oh, yep, there's one little one up that way. But other than that, it's fairly quiet. Maybe we are a bit too early. Moss, since he's become older, really appreciates hanging out with other dogs. Before he didn't really care, but now he thrives on it. So let's see, we might find someone. We're just coming up the hill and we met several wonderful dogs. Met about 4 different dogs, including a puppy, and they just had such a lovely time. And then there are more dogs, and this is the Southern Alps of the South Island of New Zealand, and over there is the Holswell Quarry, where they would have taken all the stones out to build Christchurch, and the houses, a lot of houses were made of stones, and and we're living out that way there, but much further. Beautiful evening. Autumn, and it is interesting to see how animated Moss is, and how much faster he walks when he enjoys the environment and finds it interesting. As if we go walking, come Moss, if we go walking in places where he goes every day, he just sneaks along, and now he's doing quite well. And the great part about this park is it has drink station for dogs. Here you can just push, fill it up. Hooky, do you want a drink? No? And it has drink stations for the people up here. I think that's wonderful. All right, we're off home now. Oh, to the car first. Another really cool thing about walking in public places where other people are with dogs is you get to talk just to the nicest people. Look at a lovely pond here. And it's part of my socializing, so the dogs are actually having a important function in social connections, which is one of the lifestyle pillars, because I get to talk to lovely people. So I thought I'll just make a quick video on talking about those 2 boys and where I got them from. So Hooker, the black and white one, is a sheepdog. They're called heading dog or eye dogs. And he was from a farm in North Canterbury where we live. Hooker, sit, 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 sit. A restless soul. And the farmer didn't like him and he wanted to shoot him. And a neighboring farmer rescued him and put him on a website, an adoption website, and I found him. I already had 2 dogs then, but I found him and adopted him, and he turned out to be the most wonderful dog. He is part deaf, and that's probably why he couldn't work. Also, the work on these farms is often not very nice, the rewards that these dogs get. Then Moss, he is also a rescue dog
from what's called Dog Watch in Christchurch, and he was found together with his brother, who is hopefully still black and white, and he is tan and white. And I adopted him when one of my previous dogs died when he was 1 year old, and now he is 12 and a half years old. So that's my doggies' backgrounds, and they both turned out to be just the most sweetest, loving, no problem dogs at all. But all my dogs are sort of like this, so maybe it's the lifestyle we have which makes them very beautiful dogs. So thank you, you two, for enriching my life every day, adding joy and happiness and walks in all sorts of weather. It's time to feed the horses, and it's time for the sun to go to the other side of the planet. So the doggies have to stay in the car and wait, because they, especially that one here, always, oh, where's my hooker? That one always wants to herd the horses. So off we go. I've already filled, their hay bags, and they already had their, I just wanted to show you the sunset. They already had their, look at how beautiful. And I had a little helper. My neighbor with her little 3-year-old daughter came. The sun is setting. It's a lovely breeze. Oh, look, the moon is up above the Banks Peninsula. So pretty. And so I had a little 3-year-old helper helping me feed the horses, and we brushed the horses, and she is so small she could just walk without bending underneath tall Octavia. And Octavia is eating over here, and she belongs, as I already previously said, she belongs to the lady who owns this land here, all this land, and all this land over there. And I sort of lease her, so my darling little Shady has got a friend, because my 2 other old horses died. They were more than 30 years old, and then they died a natural death. And Shady, she is an interesting horse. She is part Kaimanawa, and that is the wild horses of New Zealand in the North Island, in the Kaimanawa Ranges. And I rescued her, so they get lots of horses out of these ranges every 2 years, and then they are put up for adoption, and Shady was one of those. She was a baby of 1 year old, and she came to me. She is an interesting horse because I trained her so she would get used to the saddle, and she can wear a saddle and everything, and I can sit on her. But she is not a safe horse. She gets frightened so easily about so many little things. If there is like a big bird flying out of there, or if there is a truck coming by, or if the wind is too strong, or anything can just set her off, and she gets extremely worried about things. So she's not a safe horse, and she has never been my riding horse, and so I have not been riding for the last probably 5 years of my life, and before I've been riding basically all my life. And Octavia, she got a sort of retired by her owner because she has a really bad injury right inside of her stifle here, and cannot be ridden anymore. But they are lovely friends, and there's some really interesting facts about horses. They found out that horses have a very beautiful large heart frequency. So if I stand within her range, I don't know how far the electric charge comes out from their heart,
Just like our heart has a frequency too. That's why we can shock people back when their heart stopped. Horses have a much bigger heart frequency, so if you stand in their frequency, you can feel it, and it has a calming effect on humans. So that's another reason, I believe, why they're being used for disabled riding. They are used in prison programs. They just have a very calming and wonderful effect on humans. And I hope in the future that humans will be more kind to horses, because the horses get a terrible deal in this world by the racing industry and by a lot of riders, unfortunately. So these are my two lovely horses. They're part of my life. I come in the morning, I'm with them, and I come in the evening, I'm with them every time, about half an hour, hang out and breathe with them and stand with them and watch their world through their eyes. And then of course they also need a lot of hay, so I have to go hook up the trailer and I have to go load up hay. Each bale is several kg heavy, and then unload the hay. So there is my physical exercise. So horses, again, basically almost like dogs. There are a reason for exercise in my life. They make me work and walk, and they give me relaxation and stress relief. So thank you, Octavia, and thank you, Shady, from the bottom of my heart for being in my life.